There is a moment in every life that doesn't look important when it happens. It feels ordinary, forgettable, almost invisible. But years later, you look back and realize everything changed right there. Not because the world shifted, but because you did. Right now, you are closer to that moment than you think. You feel it in your chest, that quiet pressure, that restlessness that doesn't go away. You're moving through your days, checking boxes, staying busy, but something inside you feels unfinished. You're doing the motions, but your heart isn't fully in it. You're tired, not because you're working too hard, but because you're working without direction. That feeling you keep pushing away is not weakness. It's awareness. It's the part of you that knows you were not meant to live on autopilot. Most people don't ruin their lives. They slowly give them away. They postpone decisions. They delay change. They wait for certainty, confidence, or the perfect time, but certainty never comes before action. It comes after. And while they're waiting, life keeps moving. Time doesn't slow down because you're unsure, it doesn't pause because you're afraid. It just keeps taking days, weeks, and years. One day people wake up and realize the decision was made for them, not by choice, but by inaction. That's the danger no one warned you about. Not deciding is still a decision, and it always leads in the same direction, nowhere. Late at night, when everything is quiet and distractions fade, the truth shows up. It's not loud or dramatic, it's simple and honest. You're capable of more. And that thought hurts because if it's true, then staying the same is a choice. Responsibility becomes unavoidable, and responsibility feels heavy. So instead of facing it, you distract yourself. You tell yourself stories that sound reasonable. It's not the right time, I have too much going on, I'll start when things calm down. But things don't calm down. Life gets louder, responsibilities increase, energy decreases. Fear gets better at convincing you to stay exactly where you are. There was someone who lived like that for years. They felt the pull towards something more, but they ignored it. They buried it. They laughed it off. They built a life that looked acceptable, stable, predictable. Every time the thought appeared, what if I tried, they shut it down. Trying meant risk, and risk meant failure. Then one day, they saw a version of their future they couldn't escape. Not tragic, not dramatic, just small, limited, and safe. And something inside them said, if I don't decide now, this will be my life forever. That moment didn't come with confidence, it came with fear. But fear wasn't the enemy anymore. Regret was. So they made a decision, not to succeed, not to win, not to guarantee anything, just to stop running. Here's what no one tells you about decisions. They don't remove fear, they clarify it. Once you decide, fear doesn't disappear, it changes. You stop fearing failure and start fearing staying the same. You stop fearing what might go wrong and start fearing what will happen if you do nothing. That shift changes everything. A single decision doesn't magically fix your life. It changes what you tolerate. It changes what you accept. It changes what you walk away from and what you commit to. And once that line is crossed, there's no going back, because awareness is irreversible. You can't unknow what you know. That's why decisions feel heavy. They change your identity. Identity drives behavior. If you see yourself as someone who tries, you quit when it's hard. If you see yourself as someone who shows up, you keep going when it's uncomfortable. Identity is shaped by action, not words. This is where discipline comes in, not motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Discipline is waking up when you said you would. Discipline is doing the work when no one is watching. Discipline is keeping promises when quitting feels easier. Not because you feel like it, but because you decided who you are. This path is lonely. Discipline separates you. People will question you. They'll ask why you're working so hard, why you're changing, why you're not satisfied with being fine. But fine is the enemy of growth. Fine keeps people stuck. And deep down, you know you weren't built to live a fine life. Your life will not accidentally become meaningful. Meaning is built, brick by brick, choice by choice, decision by decision. The biggest lie you've been told is that one decision isn't enough. It is. One real decision changes the trajectory of your life. It sets new standards. It redraws boundaries. It rewires how you see yourself. Once you decide, I don't live like that anymore, you can't go back. Once you decide, I'm done lying to myself, the old excuses stop working. That's why the decision feels heavy. It forces you to grow. Discipline is what carries that decision forward. It's showing up when you're tired. It's showing up when you're bored. It's showing up when doubt is loud and comfort is calling you back. It's continuing when progress is slow and results are invisible. Most people quit in the middle, not because they can't do it, but because they don't want to feel uncomfortable for long enough to change. Growth demands patience. It demands consistency. It demands sacrifice. If you keep living the way you are, nothing magical is going to happen. No breakthrough is coming. No one is going to rescue you. There will be no sudden clarity. Just more of the same. More days that blur together. More goals postponed. More conversations with yourself that end in someday. Someday is a lie. The future is built today. Every day you avoid the decision, you strengthen the habit of avoidance. That habit compounds. So does discipline. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards, and standards are set by decisions. Here's what you do. You stop asking, what if I fail? And you start asking, what if I don't try? You choose one direction that scares you but feels honest. You commit to one action daily, small enough to be doable, serious enough to matter. You protect it, you prioritize it, you show up even when it feels boring, because boring consistency beats emotional intensity every time. Slowly, things change. Your confidence grows because it's built on evidence. Your focus sharpens because you're no longer scattered. Your self-respect returns because you're keeping promises to yourself. Not because life gets easier, but because you stop running from who you could be. One day, you'll look back at this moment and realize this was it. This was the decision. Not loud, not dramatic, but final. The day you chose direction over comfort, action over excuses, discipline over drift. That is how lives change. Not all at once, but permanently. Decide now, and let everything after this moment be different, because you were brave enough to choose.